Hi, welcome to this video where we're going to be looking at the selector object, and this is useful if we've got several sort of audio streams and we want to select one that we want to sort of show for that. So we can create a selector by so it's creating a new object, and it's this selector one there. And then the number, it has a argument here, and the number is the number of inputs that we want to select from. So we'll create this one with 3 inputs. So this basically gives us 3 signals. First one here, second one, then the third one, and then dependent upon the state, the number that we send to here for a message, the output will be sent to here. So on our output, we'll need to add our EZ DAC so we can actually sort of hear it, and we'll also add a fader so we can control the actual sort of volume of that, and we'll add that there. So I just sort of set this up to have just to be mono. And we'll put it on its side, so we'll change the orientation to vertical. So just allows us to alter the volume. So we've got one output here which goes through this fader, and I'll put this sort of down so we don't get blasted with sound. So to add some sort of inputs to this, we'll make this bigger and then move that up. So I'm going to add a triangle wave, and we'll just for simplicity to generate a triangle at 440 Hertz. We'll add a sawtooth, again at 440. And we'll add a square, which we can do through the rect object. And so this is this rectangle wave at 440, and it has a pulse width of 0.5, so it's a pure square wave that it's creating. So we've got these 3 signal sources. We just sort of route them to 1, 2, 3 on there, and then we'll create a series of messages. So message 1, message 2, and message 3. So if I can click these, we'll do message 0 as well. So these messages would be routed to the input here, and then this one to there, and then we'll finish off with that one. So if it receives, let's just sort of move these. If it receives a number 1, it will output this source, so it'll output the triangle. If we receive input 2, it will output the sawtooth, and if it receives number 3 here, it will output the rectangle, which is a square wave. If it receives 0, it will output none of them. So we'll just test this. We've selected our audio on, and so pressing 1 means that we're now receiving triangle. If I press 2, it now means that we are ignoring these 2 ones, but we're receiving the second input. And if I press 3, it then inputs, we're actually outputting the rectangle. If I press 0, it sets them up with none. So this is very sort of useful for actually something like if we had a subtractive synthesizer and we wanted to have an option of having several different waveforms. So and then the final thing that we can do, we can actually have a default one of these. So when your max patch starts, it automatically will output one of these. So if it's 0, it's automatically off. But we could say I'm going to have this a default at 2, which means that it automatically will output the second one, which is the sawtooth there. We'll just sort of make that bigger. So this is the selector object, which is very useful.